So I'm at the beach. Not my favorite beach, but I do like this beach. This is Edie's Hook. The Coast Guard station at the end. Cats living in the bushes and in the beechwood and the rocks. I just saw a bunch of them. I don't usually see them. They hide, but I think they come out more towards the evening because that's when some of the feeders come and take care of them and leave out some cat food for them and water. But I'd wanted to get out earlier. It is cold and it's getting dark. The sun has set. I tried not to look like a hobo today, but anyways, I wanted to talk about dating, and it's really funny because I was on my way out here and I felt like I was being called to my favorite drive-through coffee stand to get a chai tea because it's so cold and I wanted a little warm up, and it just so happens that the girl there is my favorite girl. She's so sweet, and she had been talking to one of her friends about me, and it turned out one of her friends is the daughter of one of my exes. So then I was like, okay, well, I had all these funny ideas today about old stories from past relationships, but I really just wanted to talk through or talk about the process of cycles. And as I'm in school to become a therapist, I have learned a lot more about the things that I've been going through and experiencing, and I keep looking at the experiences that I've had and trying to figure out why I keep going through the same cycles. And like going back to the beginning, I wasn't allowed to date. I think I was not allowed to date until I was 16, but then I didn't even want to date. I had this idea that I was like, I'm not going to meet the person that I want to spend the rest of my life with in high school because I'm not going to be mature enough. We're not going to know who we are or what we want. And so I just didn't think that would be a good idea. Plus I was so shy and such a loner. Still am. But then I moved out here to Washington and I met somebody who I thought had, we had similar interests and values, and then he went off to boot camp and we wrote letters, and then we got married, and we only had seen each other in person like a couple times before we got married. And then of course it was like moving in with a stranger because we had just been writing letters for the better part of a year. And then we had our daughter, and we had come back up here from where he was stationed at, and then I just kind of like, it didn't, it just didn't feel like we fit. He wanted different things. He wanted a different lifestyle than I wanted. I didn't feel like he actually liked me or loved me. I didn't feel comfortable. I felt like I was in danger, even though he was never, we never really had fights, but we were both so young and uncertain of who we were that we just didn't ever want to upset the other one, and we just weren't able to really be ourselves. I think that was part of it. Because I think he had one girlfriend other than me. And so we were both like totally unsure of ourselves and pretty insecure. And I was at a point in my life where I always had mascara on. Like, now I rarely wear makeup. But I was at a point where I felt so uncomfortable without makeup on, and I even asked him how he felt when I didn't wear makeup, and he said that I looked different. And that, that's not going to make a person feel good. So, but there was just so many things that just happened that, I asked for a divorce, and we separated for a year, and it was really rough. Things became very awful, honestly. And we just couldn't get along. We couldn't get along after that. And so then I had a rebound relationship, and he, was with other people, and then I tried to make the other relationship work. So I was with both those two people separately for about 2 years each. And then ever since then, I've had such short-lived relationships. And I think it's because I didn't really date my ex-husband. We just got married after writing letters. So we didn't get to spend time together in person and get to know each other. So I've been in kind of this like pattern or cycle of just rushing things and doing too much too soon and feeling overwhelmed, and then pulling away and ending the relationship after just like a few months or a couple weeks. I have really extreme fear of men because of some things that I just am not going to bring up, but I feel like I'm in danger a lot of the times. I don't like yelling or arguing, or I really like peaceful communication. And a lot of people just don't know how to do that. And I think that, like right now, I've decided this year to not date, because I just turned 40 for one, and well, it's not because I just turned 40, it's because I've turned 40 and I'm still, like, I dated somebody in September for a couple weeks who wanted to move in with me, and when I started my classes, he started becoming erratic and controlling and overbearing and just nuts. And then right before him, I was hanging out with somebody who I'd been friends with for 5 years, and he started flirting with me. I was babysitting his daughter, and then he, told me that he likes me, and I didn't want to date him. And so then he started cussing me out and started becoming totally crazy. And that, like, what? Why would somebody act like that? Okay, well, I think that he was on drugs, but still, he was older than me. He should have been a little bit more mature and respectful, right? But I've been in so many relationships that have been short-lived because I have not taken my time or just gotten to know the person, and I still wonder, like, do I even want to be with somebody? Why be with somebody? I'm pretty happy on my own. I don't need a man to carry groceries for me. I've got pretty adequate muscles. I don't need a guy to save me. I don't need intimacy. I have lots of great friends, and I have lots of great guy friends, and I just don't know if I don't know if I want to be with anybody, because I feel like maybe I've been through enough stuff to show me that maybe I just really like to be alone. Sometimes I like to hang out with somebody, but not to hook up with them. I really don't like that sort of thing. That's one of the things I really don't understand about the way society is, all these people that just want to, meet new people on Tinder and hang out and cuddle and like watch Netflix and hook up and then go do it with another stranger. There was this girl that I was in hair school with years ago. She would meet these strange guys, strangers that she's never met before. She would meet them on dating sites and go meet them at hotels and stay the night with them. I just don't understand why people would do things like this, but we all have things that we're here to learn. We're all here to explore ourselves and this life and each other, and so I don't judge people. I just don't understand, but we are all different, and my hands are getting frozen. But I've been in some really interesting situations. Like, there was this one guy who, I don't even know if you can hear me because of the wind, but this guy told me he was gay and he wanted to practice being gay like with me, and I'm just, I'm glad I'm very understanding, and I'm glad that people see that, but that doesn't mean that, he should try to practice being gay with me, because I think that's something that, he needs to do on his own. If you're a person and you're in a relationship with somebody, but you realize that you want to be with the other, you want to be on the other ball field, then that's fine, but go and do it by yourself. Go and explore on your own. I thought that was very interesting. But I don't want to get too personal with things, but I just feel like, and I think it's just cold and it's dark, and I'm going off of 6 hours of sleep because my neighbors downstairs they woke me up this morning at 7 cussing and screaming at each other, and I'm like, dude, I don't understand how people can live like that and have absolutely no respect for other people, calling each other names, and then you still want to sleep in the same bed with that person. Anyways, but I am so cold, and this is not exactly the video that I had anticipated on making, but maybe it's because I'm exhausted and it's freezing. I can barely feel my hands, but I really wanted to talk about some really funny stories, and I don't know, but sometimes I just wonder, we go through these different experiences in our lives, and it's like, what are they trying to show us? What are we supposed to learn? And what is the purpose of it? And so I'm always trying to figure that out. I'm always trying to learn and grow and become a better person and make better choices and listen to myself and hope that I'm being kind to others and being respectful of them, but nobody's perfect, and we're all just learning and growing. I have to remind myself that a lot, because I keep noticing so many different changes with myself, with my body, with my skin, with the way my brain processes things, or I notice the aging, I notice the changing, and I sometimes am like, when am I gonna figure things out? But we have this entire life to figure things out. And I don't know if anybody ever really gets things figured out. And I remember my landlord telling me that he watched something about these people in their 90s, and they're like, well, they were asked, so they're interviewed and asked, what would you have done differently in your life? And they're like, I would have drank more wine, or I would have lived more, or I would have cared less about what people thought of me. And that's definitely something I'm working on. Man, my 20-year-old self would not be very happy to see all the funky videos on here with me, like just myself. But I have worked really hard on learning to love and accept myself, and I think that's why I'm so dedicated to taking a break from trying to date and learning to just be comfortable with myself. And I cannot even see my face. Looks creepy, like a clay person. So anyways, learning to just be comfortable with myself, learning to just accept the things that I've been through and trust that I'm doing a good job and that I'm gonna keep, listening to myself and my body. Like, I hung out with somebody last week a few times, and we were just friends, but it was getting to a place where I was not very comfortable, and I got emotional and I expressed myself, but he was like, I want to make sure that we are good and that we can just be friends, and I'm not trying to hurt your feelings, I'm not trying to mess with you. And so I appreciate that, but I think that's important. We're all at different places, and I think it's important to know where you're at and whatever is going on with you, to be very observant and aware of it, and conscientious of yourself and your needs. And anyways, I think I'm gonna get off here because I am freezing, and maybe I'll post this, maybe I won't, but we'll see. Who knows? I look like a blob. Maybe I should just show you the lights. But I wish more people would be just more respectful with one another, and be kind and considerate. We're all trying to figure things out. We're all learning, we're all growing, we're all dealing with some kind of crap, some kind of past childhood or whatever circumstances or situations or experiences that have harmed us or damaged us or hurt us or have made us reevaluate ourselves. And we're all just here, try to heal, try to grow, and learning to love ourselves. So, I don't know, maybe just, if you get anything from this, I hope that you can get to be kind to people and be kind to yourself, and that right there is one of the best gifts that you can give to this world, I think. All right, well, this face blob, we'll talk to you later. Thanks for listening. Thanks for being here. Sorry it wasn't as entertaining, but maybe this weird blob face is entertaining enough. Okay, we'll talk to you soon. Goodbye.